So today, what we're quickly going to do is I'm going to quickly walk you through how to get ahead in the AI revolution. How many of us have interacted with an AI tool in the past one day? If you've not, maybe you don't have data where you are coming from. If you've used an AI tool in the past 1 month, if you've never used any AI tool ever, let me see your hands. Ever. Hey, that your hands. You are raising up your hand, but you are hiding your face. All right, so we're going to talk quickly about, as students, how many of us are still in school? Wave of hands. How many of us attend the best school in the world? See them. It's only one school that is University of First Choice, so. Right? How many University of First Choice do we have? Do the rest matter? Do the rest matter? So we're going to talk about getting ahead in the AI revolution, whether you're a student or you just recently graduated. So a little bit about me. I recently finished an MBA. You're supposed to clap now. It's not easy. And I hope somebody is taking a video of this so that they can say that I greeted them. And I currently manage the Google Developer Groups and Google Developer Group on campus. Anybody here? GDG on campus? Okay, they are here. And I'm currently based in Lagos, Nigeria, even though my friends will disagree. They say I'm always everywhere. I like working, and I bring you greetings from my amazing wife. And this is one of there are many DevFests across the world. So last year, there was about 560 DevFests in 105 countries. I think that deserves a clap. And this is, for 2025, there are only 2 student edition DevFest in the whole of Africa, of which we are one of them. If you want to clap, clap now. Don't do as if your hand is paining you. How many of us have seen these questions before? Anyone? If you can relate to any of the questions, just clap. If you can relate to anyone. Because, when you are trying to develop or you are building something, there's questions of, should I use React, or I should use Next, or I should use Angular? Should I deploy on Firebase or Supabase or something? Should I do mobile responsive, or I should do desktop first? Where are my users? What platform should I do? Should I do web? If you can relate, anybody? And there are all these questions. How should I integrate my API? Designer will be asking, should I make the animation go from this side and come down? All those things our designers do that we don't like. And, how do I want to manage CI/CD? Because you might be on stage and your devs, you go and push Spag, and then you now start running Helter Skelter. True or false? And do we deploy on Fridays? Do we deploy on Fridays? No. So there's so many questions, and we run into this headache where there's so many things to consider, and I'm like, where do I even start from? And AI, standard, they will tell you that once you write your code, and I'm sure the developers here can relate. I heard Femi asking, I saw a lot of developers. By the time you write your code, you see that something is not working. True or false? By the time you are building your code, JavaScript developers, you will see that the Node version has changed. So true or false? And then our QAs, by the time you get to testing, users, I don't know how they see errors that don't exist. They will now bring the error and say, this thing is not working as it should. And then you get to the stage of monitoring. And what you find out is that there's so many, as developers, as designers, as product managers, because I now hear from Florence that all product managers must be technical. You find out that there's so many breaks in between, and things are not just working. And there's this one. You are working, the code is working on a laptop, and all of us will say, what? If you've said this thing before, raise your hand. You don't need to hide. Because the QA is testing. It's not working for them. But you now say, but I pushed this thing yesterday night. Now it was working last night. Three of us. And we can all relate. So I just want to set a background of what the development landscape is like. But that's not why we are here today. The reason why we are here is I want to tell you some of the tools that you can use today. Whether you are still in school, you've graduated, that can help you in your journey. So we're going to talk about three things. We're going to start with Google Workspace, then we're going to talk about Notebook LM, and then we're going to end with generative media. If you're excited, clap once. Okay. Now, Gemini in Google Workspace. And what it means, and I'm going to give you a free gift at the end. Who likes a gift? If I want to pick 10 people to give the gift, how should I select them? Should I ask questions at the end? How should I select them? Oh, somebody said I should select him first. Then the rest, they can also for the rest of it. Okay, let's start with questions. Maybe I'll be asking questions. How many can you recognize? If you know all the 10, raise your hand. If you know all the 10, raise your hand. Oh yeah, let's start from the first one. What's the first one? Yes. Second one? Yes. Third one? Yes. Fourth one? Yes. Somebody said Jews. Fourth one? Fifth one? Sixth one? Sixth. You people can't read numbers. Is it dogs or sheets? Seventh one? Eight? Nine? They don't know it. Some people are... The last one. Please clap for yourself. If you got it, oh. I'm sure that we all use, if you use at least 5 of these things today, if you use them on a regular basis, let me know use today. Okay, I see a few hands. Yes. So, you use all of these things. So I don't need to go into what they are. But when you find out, people that didn't get vids, they are talking. People that got it, they are paying attention. So the first one, when we talk about, tools that help you as a student, or a working professional to get things faster, it's called Help Me Write. And what we really do, how many of us have tried it? So for anyone that you've tried, just clap when I get there. How many of us have tried it? Okay, awesome. And what it does is that, when you get some emails from some people, and you're like, and you want to tell them rudely that I already sent it before, go and read your email very well, right? So you can use your Help Me Write to say to them nicely that tell this person that they don't have sense in a nice way. So you can suggest entire phrases. It can, suggest paragraphs for your writing. You can even set the tone. Whether you want it to be casual, you want it to be formal. It can rewrite sentence. Not all of us is good with English. So by the time you write your English, you can format it and rewrite it for you. And it can help you to what? Brainstorm ideas. The second one is Google Sheets. How many of us have used it? Awesome. You remember that you're supposed to clap, not raise your hand. So you can, do things like create tables. So for example, I'm going to do a talk on Saturday, a workshop actually on Saturday, where I walk you through what we have, what we call the DevFest Lagos ticketing dashboard for the year. And it was actually built with Google Sheets. So we're going to do, and you can do some things like data analysis, insights. You can do things like chart and graph. The third one is Google Slides. How many of us have had to make a presentation before? Okay, awesome. So you can do things like create slides, you can generate image, you can write and refine your text, you can do things like insights, and the one that I really like the most, because what I did when I finished my slide, I wanted to change the title. So I asked Google Slide to help me create a new title for that's why the title of the slide is different from what was on the keynote. So let's blame Gemini for that. And then there's Google Meet. Things like you want to use an AI background. We all know that some of us, we use that other operating system that the sound is not good. So if you want to improve your audio and video, I didn't name anybody, but if you want to improve your audio and video quality, You can translate. So let's say, for example, how many of us work remotely here? Don't worry, we are not billing you. Just raise your hand. Don't worry now. Raise it well now. Are you shy of your jobs? So guys, let's look around. Let's look around. We know who to meet. So you can do things like, take meeting notes, translate captions. So let's say, for example, because I just arrived from Dakar, and without Google Translate, I would not have survived. Because anywhere you turn, I thought I knew French before. The only thing I know is, je parle français. Nah, that's all. But you just, I'm like, guys, but Google Translate is there to wear. And there's Google Vids. You can do things like AI avatars, video creation. When it creates it right from the web, you can go in, you can change a frame, you can delete a frame, you can change the text, you can edit it. Is this not good? Is it useful for anyone? And we'll get to where it is free for you. And then, the second one is Notebook LM. How many of us have used it? Don't be shy. We do exams now. So I actually did a certification recently, and Notebook LM was a lifesaver. I'm not going to walk you through the slides, but I'm going to tell you what I used it to do, right? And this is the link if you don't know. What I used it to do was, I picked all my lesson notes. I supplied it to Notebook LM, and then it generated a podcast summary for me. And then, because I'm always busy working, I can plug my ears in, listen to the podcast summary. The other thing that it did for me, and I can also do for it can also generate exam questions. So it can do things like, can generate a quiz or quizzes that I can use to practice from the questions. So even if your lecturer say, we have lecturers that A is for, no, not that one. But they say the question that they're asking you is from what? You must not write anything that is outside of that answer script that they have given you, of the material that they have given you. You can supply that material and use it to practice. How many of us will try it? You can move from B to, your results. So how many of us will try it? So, it's powered by AI. It was primarily built as a research assistant, but it really helps for students, really, really. You can upload your questions. You can get instant insights. You can even connect it to the internet, whether you want to do deep research. You can connect it to the internet. You can, you can see connections with mind maps, and it's really good. And, the interesting thing about Notebook LM is that you own your own data. And as usual, because Google is a privacy-first company, we never sell your data, and your data is not used to train Google models. The third one, this is the most interesting part. I'm almost done, just 2 hours left. Generative media. And you know what? The thing is, when I did that video thing, how many of you hate editing? You can say the truth. I do hate editing. I hate it with, But with AI these days, even if you don't, some people, they don't even like writing. But if you can supply your rough idea, you will get a full-blown article that you can. True or false? So, this is very interesting because for somebody like me and how many of us are introverts? You don't like taking pictures. Me, I like taking pictures. So. I will not lie. But what generative media can do for it can bring your wildest ideas to life at the speed of your imagination. So, a few weeks ago, I was in Nairobi. But before I get there, how many of us have used Nano Banana? I heard Femi ask earlier. Okay. And what it can do for you is that it can do text to image, natural language editing. You can do style transfer. Because we don't have time, I'm not going to run through everything. Don't laugh at me, fine boy. So what I did with Gemini is I have this picture, which is the photo shoot I took when I graduated from my MBA. Was this it? Yes, it is. So I supplied the picture, and I said, so I went to the Kenya National Park, but because I was afraid of lions, I didn't come down from the car because I didn't want lions to, because we saw a live lion. So I'm like, how can I put myself in the national park? So I put my picture, and I used this prompt and say, place me in the Kenya National Park feeding what? Giraffes. And look at the outfit. Does it look like me? the same clothes? Oh, the person is taller. Wow. 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 And it just shows you that, if you want to tell somebody that you've traveled to a place you've not traveled to before, you can just say, put me in Dubai. So you don't have to go physically. You can be in Dubai in spirit. The second one that you can do is that you can also do style transfer. And what this means is that, so what I did here is, I told you to make a postcard of me. So, I can actually head out and print this postcard and put it in my house and tell everyone that I went to Masai Mara National Park, but I was in my house in Lagos, Nigeria. Is this cool? If it is cool, clap now. And then, but before I finish, the thing about, you find out, because I know some of you might have tried it and you did not get the results that you wanted, right? The thing is that you need to provide specific details on, who is there, skin texture, your lighting, what type of picture it is. Because, so for example, if you take a picture, the picture you are supplying, if you take it in a place that is not well lit, then it might not really understand what you're trying to do. You need to describe what you want. So, for example, if you want to say, instead of saying no cars, empty streets, so that if there's no count, I don't know if how many of us saw that Spider-Man picture that was trending on Twitter. You guys don't think, you remember that I think the middle of the street, if you zoom in, you will see something going wrong that does not look real in that picture. So you need to use positive framing. You need to also control the camera, so make sure that you specify whether it is an aerial view, it is a low angle, and then you can iterate. So when you create the first one, you can use that version to get something. Now, what do you guys think we will get from these results? I know I have enemies here. Do you think it will look like me? If you think it will look like me, raise your hands. Let me know my enemies. If you don't think it will look like me, clap once. Wow. So this was the prompt. And but is that not me? Is that not me? So I supplied the prompt in all honesty, and this was what I got. So, but because I didn't want to also keep refining, I just did it once and I left it at it. But it just shows you that you can play around with things, you can transfer style, and you can do this in your spare time. There are a few more things also on media generation. Image is not the only type of media we have, right? So there's something called Lyria, which is an AI music generator. How many of us want to be DJs? What's that type of music that Marianne likes again? The new type of, is it Afro House? What Gen Zs, what are you listening to these days? Afro House, Abi? Who said Michael Jackson? So, Fuji. So you can do a text-to-music generation, whether you want to do, instrumentals only. The audio length is limited. I think it's about 32 seconds. And the audio format is WAV, and the prompt is in English. And you can play with it. The final one is Chirp. Is also it's a speech-to-text generator. So you have an audio, you want to extract text from it, and you can also do text-to-speech. It is multilingual. It is very cool. So these are things that you can play around with. And the final one, how many of us have tried this before? How many of us have tried it before? You guys are not cool kids. So this is Veo, and what it does is it does text-to-video, image-to-video. The limit is 8 seconds, but the quality is 4K. I'm sure those people that use that other operating system, they don't have 4K. And you can use Flow to create a longer video. And I want to show you this trailer. And this trailer was created entirely by AI. Let's watch it together.
Let me tell you about the strangest movie never made. In 1937, I wrote a story about a man and a surrealist woman, an enigmatic, almost mythical figure. It was about a world where reality burns away, with flaming giraffes and impossible dreams. That was my vision, a movie full of wonder and strange beauty. But they said it was too wild, too impossible for its time. I agreed. The world wasn't ready until now. I called it Giraffes on Horseback Salad. Prepare yourself, because the impossible is coming to life.
If you want to clap, please clap well. And this brings me to my final gift. You know, all these cool things that I've showed you, right? I went to meet my people and say, how can I bring this opportunity to all the people in Africa so that they can also be able to have access to do all these cool things that is possible? And I'm excited to tell you that Gemini Pro plan is now free for students. So whether you are using Notebook LM, you are using Vio, you are using all of these different tools and more, you can have access to it for free of charge for 1 year. And if you go to this link, I'm sorry, I couldn't get a QR code there because I'm considerate of those other operating systems. But if you take a picture and you go to gemini.google/student, you can have, and what you only need is, how many of us have our student ID cards? Okay, we do. Awesome. So either your student ID card, there's something called course form. Yeah, your course form. And for schools, I know University of First Choice, they have email address for their students. And for schools that other school, do they have it too? And if you have email address, you can also use that too. How many of us, we activate it and we use it? Awesome. So please take a picture. Please take advantage. The key thing is there's so many cool things that can be done. Look at that video. You know, imagine the cost that it would have taken to shoot that quality of video in time past, right? And now that cost just comes down to you sitting in your house and you are good to go. I think this deserves another round of applause. The final piece of the puzzle is, if you've not had time to play this, I'm going to walk you through also in my session on Saturday how to build something like this. I actually built this thing in 5 minutes. I kid you not. 5 minutes outside there. And what it really does is, as you are playing, because I didn't want to set up a backend. We don't like backend developers. So, okay, we do like them. I was one before. It saves your data to a Google Sheet. So that's why I was reading your scores from that time. When I know somebody, excellence has scored 0. It was from there. I hope this was fun, and I hope you learned something. Thank you very much.